Coolest blog made this beat. Coolest blog made this beat.
National Carnival Committee and the director in the persons of Shannon Hawley and Clement Monarch O'Gara. This evening we'll be unveiling some exciting information in the form of the calendar of events. And before we get into that, we'll have the director and the chair introduce themselves and tell us about their roles in Sugar Mass 52.
Thank you for having us. Well, I don't think we need any introduction. Both Monarch and myself have been involved in National Carnival. Of course, Monarch much more,
yes,
years than I have,
yes.
Even though our proximity of age. But I am the chair of National Carnival, Shannon Hawley, and I'm also responsible for finance, sponsorship, and marketing.
Awesome.
And I am Clement Monarch O'Gara, as Shannon say. Not much of an introduction needed. I know we're celebrating a lot of stuff in 1973, and that's when I actually started to participate in Carnival. I have oversight, of course, for Carnival development. I'm going to work with the Soca Monarch this year, and Also, I mean, you know, to ensure that our public relations and promotion is in tip-top shape so people know exactly what's going on for Sugar Mass 52.
Right.
Thank you for having me here as well. And we're ready to talk to the nation.
Awesome. So before we jump into the history of Sugar Mass 52 and really delve into what we're here for, let's talk a bit about the backstory in terms of Sugar Mass 52, Sugar Mass 51, the years that led up to Sugar Mass 52. The slogan for this year, let's talk a bit about that. How was that chosen? The persons that were who sent in their slogans at that time. How was that process?
Well, I think we had over 300 submissions for the slogan. We started very early this year because we wanted to ensure that we reached out to as many people in the region and internationally as possible to let them know that Sugar Mass 52 is on and popping. So we started advertising submissions for slogans very early. And there were over 300, and we pined through them, and we went through them back and forth and had conversations about what really is the essence, what's the essence of National Carnival. When you think about National Carnival, what do you feel? And Alika Patrick, her submission, we had a lot of submissions with crews.
Yeah, I know.
Because, you know, people tend to rhyme
Right.
based on the 52.
Right.
So we had a lot of submissions with crew this and crew that and crew this. But in terms of the one that captured the real essence of Sugar Mass was all in with your crew. And that can mean so many things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when someone says all in with your crew, you know that you're bringing in everybody.
Yes.
You know that it is all about revelry, it's about fun, freedom, excitement, jubilation, every facet of what we consider National Carnival to represent.
Right.
All in with your crew. Those few words identifies that National Carnival theme.
Yeah, and I agree. It makes Carnival what it is today. The
Yes.
involvement of everyone, the inclusiveness of everyone.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
piggybacking off of that, in terms of, for Sugar Mass 52, I know there is a change in when it begins. I know last time it began earlier in November.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing for me that I kind of took personal, because when I started in Carnival way back, there was like a 2-week period that we always utilized, which would have been like around mid-December to the 2nd or 3rd of January, depending on when the New Year fall. But we kind of went away from that, I guess. I'm not sure, you know, and I'm not gonna, argue with the wisdom of the folks who did it. But for me, I found that because we weren't specific. When you compare us to some of the other carnivals,
Right.
they're specific about a particular period that is like the high point of the carnival. Of course, we're going to have pre-events, prior to our opening, but we've gone back to that 2-week, and we call it the 2 weeks of power. The
19
second-
days. 19 days of non-stop activity.
Exactly.
Every single day.
So there should be no complaints about nothing.
Well, you always have individuals who complain.
Yes,
However,
yes.
we have ensured, we have reached out to private event promoters, and to them we are extremely grateful because they are our partners.
Right.
And because we cannot do everything ourselves.
Correct.
We have to depend on the general public, stakeholders, to come in, all
Right.
in with us. So we want to thank the private event promoters. The deadline for submission for private events was last Friday, the 11th, and we had so many submissions for this first version,
Yeah.
because this is version 1 of our calendar.
Okay.
But even on this release that we will be doing tonight, there are events catering to a cross-section of the general public every single night from the 15th of December, which is the grand opening, to the 2nd of January, which is last lap.
Awesome.
Guaranteed guaranteed full-on fun.
All in with your crew for Sugar Mass 52.
Yes.
All right. So, in terms of the 19 days of power, what can we expect as a public, general public, the community, those persons that are watching now? What can we expect in terms of new events coming on stream, or in terms of the calendar of activities?
Well, as Shannon said, the partnering with the private events promoters is key to the success of Carnival.
Right.
I mean, I know we just came out of a slow carnivals, Grenada, St. Lucia, BVI, Nevis, Antigua, Anguilla. And one of the things that we're seeing, Antigua is close to us, is that Power Week. You know, there's lots of activities, but it's not necessarily the Carnival Committee that's pushing everything, the breakfast fed. And so we are looking definitely for the difference in terms of what the private promoters have.
Right.
We're looking for variety. I mean, we don't want everything to be a fete with a big band and a big, a big DJ or whatever it is. I mean, that's fine too. That's part of Carnival. But we're looking for variety of things to involve, kids, teenagers, older folks. And that's one of the things that is going to be a difference this year for us. Not so much the carnival activities, because, I mean, people are expecting us to do the Calypso show, the Soca Monarch, the pageants and stuff like that. So the variety now, of course, we're going to be in tip-top shape with our events as well, too, as we always do. And, just looking around at some of the other carnivals, I think we're in a very, very good place. We're in a very, very, very good place. And we're about to, take that a step higher this year. And our private partners will definitely help us by creating that variety that, makes Carnival the success that it should be.
All right. We have core events that we have to concentrate on. Of course, we have a budget. Yeah. I mean, if we didn't have a budget, we would be, doing quadruple what we are doing. And with production costs, infrastructure costs, etc., we have to ensure that our national carnival events maintain a specific standard.
Right.
So we have our core events that everyone expects. We have added 1 or 2 events to our national carnival events, such as Rock the Runway, which is a new event that will focus on local designers. We will have the Carnival Queens, the talented teens, etc., modeling, partaking in this activity. So that is a new activity on the calendar.
Nice.
And actually that replaces the swimwear competition.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to ensure that we have to understand who our core stakeholders are. Right. And we have to have events that cater to specific stakeholders. We know we have the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant, which it is now called, versus the National Queen Pageant.
Okay.
It's now the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant, and we also have Miss Teen St. Kitts and Nevis Pageant instead of the Talented Teen competition. So those 2 competitions are core events. These talented teens go on to, make us so proud regionally. Yeah. We have the Haynes Smith Pageant, Caribbean Queen Pageant, which is the Haynes Smith event, is back this year after quite a few years hiatus. And we have to focus on our core national carnival events. And that is our main priority this year, with the help of the private event promoters. And of course, we cannot leave out the Grand Parade and Juve troops. Again, our Juve is by far, and I say this unequivocally, that our Juve is the best Juve in the world. And our Grand Parade has become so spectacular because of the troops and their leaders that put their all, and of course the participants, really put their all into ensuring that our Grand Parade and last lap is really special. And when we have, I took the opportunity to view a number of carnivals this past couple of weeks, and we really have something very, very special to offer. And that is why we're inviting everyone from around the region and internationally to come and partake in the last and first carnival of the year. Okay, there is nothing more special than that.
I mean, it's special for us as well. I know there's 2 other carnivals around the same time, but Sugar Mass is a different kind of animal right now. And Shannon mentioned the Mass. One of the things I think that was a great improvement last year was the route. We've always had issues with the route. I mean, you know, where it started to wind around town and it gets congested. Now, congestion at Carnival is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but you don't want that congestion to be at the beginning of your parade or in the middle of your parade.
Right.
If it's at the end of the parade, that's fine, where you see 1 million people in Bastille and, you know, they're enjoying themselves because the parade started early, they got downtown early, and so they had an opportunity for a few laps in Bastille. And that, of course, has attracted people from, I mean, you know, all across the region and the United States as well. And that's one of the things. There are a couple carnivals, of course, coming up in the diaspora, Labor Day in Brooklyn, and especially Miami, because Miami seems to have a special, seems to be a special home for Kittitians now when it comes to Carnival. So, you know, we're going to utilize every opportunity that we have to introduce people who are not from St. Kitts to Sugar Mass. And of course, the Ministry of Tourism and Transportation is helping us by, you know, giving us more airlift. People already, you know, JetBlue is filling up really quickly. People coming out of New York in December. Spoken to a couple of friends and they've booked. They're ready to come. So, come for the Mass, you know, but enjoy the calypso, the soca, the pageants as well.
And that leads me into my other question. For persons that are in the diaspora and persons that might be watching this evening, how are they able to participate? I mean, if they're not able to come home.
We started the trend of our online virtual carnival, virtual streaming, and that is what elevated our overall production of the National Carnival experience, because we had to make it extra special during those years, and we have maintained it. We maintained it last year, and absolutely will maintain it this year. But before I go into that, I made mention of our key stakeholders, private event promoters, as well as, you know, troop leaders, etc. But what is so key, and especially for this year, is our partnership with various government ministries. And for us, that is critical. So we have the Ministry of Tourism, who has a representative on our National Carnival Committee, who is responsible for our international marketing. And Jonette is also responsible for ensuring that we have, you know, media, international media, influencers, etc., who will touch down this year to spread the word about our National Carnival. Because sometimes not many people know about it. So we need to make sure that everybody is aware of what's going on. We also have the Ministry of Education and Youth, who is, well, who are spearheading the Junior Carnival Parade this year. Again, under the direct leadership of the Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, who has been involved for several years in Junior Carnival, and he is taking this on as a personal, like he's taking it personally, right? So, and then of course we have the other ministries and departments that fall under the Honorable Samal Duggins, who is the minister responsible for National Carnival. The Creative Economy, Department of Creative Economy, they are critical. They have all of the experts. They have the creative minds. They put on the first Midnight Escape Street Market last year, which was a resounding success.
Can we expect that to be happening?
Absolutely. That will be back on bigger, if possible, and better this year. And the Creative Economy is also responsible for Folklore Galore. They're also responsible for the opening of National Carnival. They took on that responsibility last year, as they had that responsibility several years ago, but they took on that responsibility again. So the ministry the ministries under the Honorable Samuel Duggins are all collaborative, and that is so important, because again, why depend entirely on a committee of volunteers when we have so many with those expertise in the government system?
I know. And public infrastructure as well too. They play a big part in ensuring, that our venue, they help us to prepare our venue as well. So there's, collaboration all the way around.
Yes, nice. And we can definitely see that coming together from the last Sugar Mass 51. The opening of Carnival was mind-blowing. Everyone appreciated it and look forward to this year's launch. So,
but one thing with that though, it was really spectacular. It was good. Everybody was raving about it. But then there was this lull.
Yes.
Because there was so much time in between
the opening and the first event.
So I'm guessing that's the reason for the shift to the 19th.
To the 15th, because we have to ensure, as Monarch said, you have, we had a lot of course, honest criticism and feedback, individuals saying too much lull, too much quiet period, because we had the opening, I think, on the 1st or the 3rd, and then the official Carnival events didn't start until 2 weeks later. So why not push back the opening
and just have
everything run in sync?
Yeah.
And so we'll still have our pre-events, of course, Soca Monarch elimination, semi-finals, same for Calypso, as well, Junior Calypso. As well, and we want to do some work on that. Definitely, this year I was listening to the regional show, the Leeward Islands Calypso Monarch competition.
It just passed.
Just passed, where Miss Independent represented us, and Roxy, the winner from Anguilla, she's been around for 20 years. She started out in the junior, and she's moved up, and we haven't had that many moving up, and so we're definitely looking forward to doing some work this year as soon as school reopens. And of course, we got an expert on our committee who is responsible for Calypso.
Okay.
And maybe for a first time, we do have a division represented in the person of Abernathy Liebert, who will handle junior and senior Calypso. Okay. And we know, of his exploits, both in Culturama and as a musician himself.
Yes. So we could definitely see more persons coming into the competition for Calypso.
We hope. And this is the 50th year. The Junior Calypso competition is celebrating the 50th year. And we can't look at it as just a side event. Yes. This is an event just like Talented Teen that really molds young, aspiring junior Calypsonians to move on into the senior competition. So that competition, it's a pre-event, but we're going to focus heavily on it to ensure that the junior Calypsonians get as much support from our committee as well as the general public.
Nice.
Correct. And as you recently saw, a 5-time junior Calypso Monarch here in St. Kitts, both at the primary and junior level, has now graduated to the senior Calypso competition and made the finals in Nevis.
Yes, I saw that.
Invincible.
I was quite
impressed. And of course, Suki also, who made the finals, he participated in the junior Calypso competition here in St. Kitts as well. So, I mean, we're definitely looking forward to it, and as Shannon says, it's a special year. 1973 seems to be special for a lot of reasons.
Way before you and I were born.
Okay. I can be dated tonight, that's fine. I mean, I consider it to be experience and wisdom. How about that?
And I agree.
Absolutely. It doesn't change its age. It does, right?
But another staple that you would have, based on my observation in the calendar of events, is the Panorama. That has grown significantly. I remember when it first started, there was not much of a turnout, but we've seen over the years, even last year, that there are more persons registering to compete.
Well, we have Cartel Ford, who came on board last year as an executive committee member, and Cartel is 22 years old, passionate young man, and he had no idea. He had no involvement in PAN previously. However, Cartel put his absolute
Other than
all.
playing in school
Other
for
than
a couple
playing in
minutes.
school, but he put his absolute all into PAN, and so has he this year. Cartel, as we are for all of our executive committee members, we are grateful and thankful because we're all volunteers. And he put his 150%, and he brought in entertainers in terms of the side shows. He ensured that there was a buzz about Panorama. You know, this year he's already on the ball, ensuring that he has as many of the PAN, well, every single PAN group
In the
Federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. I remember Cartel at 4 o'clock in the morning calling me from the Carnival village last year saying, you know, Charlotte, I don't have a ride home. You know, like he really is passionate about what he does. And so we're thankful for our committee members, Cartel. We have moved Panorama from the pre-event to now in the Power Week. So Panorama is right there with the national, Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant, as well as the National Calypso Competition. So we look forward to having that Panorama so that more visitors who come on island during that week can enjoy the sweet sounds of Pan.
Well, I think that we should hear some sweet sounds of Pan. So I'm sure our engineer is listening.
Yes.
But
Give us a
I'll let
taste.
you give him the cue to our winner from last Carnival.
Last Sugar Mass 51, we'll hear from the winner. I think the winner was EBJ Harmonics.
EBJ, yes.
I mean,
Correct.
not I think, I know.
And they
Yes.
played a very
Yes.
popular song out of Antigua.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, it's
Nobody
funny.
Done Run Me,
I
but that
was
was a
actually
great
sitting.
song.
I was actually sitting in the audience, and I mean, you know, everybody was singing. You know, even some of the younger folks as well too,
Yeah, it
because
was
I know this
sweet.
is a song that played. So
It was sweet. I had the ability, the fortunate opportunity to hear them practice, and just the delivery at the end was awesome. So
yeah, because they practice right down the street from
yes. So we'll hear from them now. Welcome back to SUGAR FIX. I am your host, Scotticia. This is your all-inclusive pass for Sugar Mass 52. I'm joined with the chair of the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley, and the director, in here, Mr. Clement O'Garo. And we've been talking about the Sugar Mass 52, what's coming up, the calendar of events, just keeping you informed and updated of what is to come for Sugar Mass 52. So we're just going to delve into some topics of registration for persons who would have missed the post about registration. Could you just give us an update of what dates would have already passed and what dates are upcoming for registration?
So last Friday, we closed registration for the Juve and parade troops as well as the private events. And this is critical because these are the events that we consider, we have to create our calendar.
Right.
We want to engage stakeholders. This is the time that we have to plan and prepare for Sugar Mass 52. So the registration for the private events as well as the Juve and parade troops closed last Friday. In terms of all of the other events that we're hosting, such as the Panorama, the steel pan competition, as well as the Soca Monarch competition, that registration closes at the 31st, and the Calypso Monarch competition, and junior Calypso, junior and senior. We have closed registration, I think it was on the 5th of July for the Queen pageant. We are ready, when I say Queen pageant, the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen pageant. We already have 6 amazing young ladies who will be released the first week in September when we have our official media launch. And they're behind the scenes, practicing, working out, having their sessions. Their sessions have started. Javon Libod is the chair of the pageants, and he's also he's both the chair of the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis as well as the teen pageant. So Javon and his team are really working hard with these young ladies behind the scenes to ensure that Miss St. Kitts and Nevis is a show this year. I know that the participation weaned off a bit over the past few years, and we wanted to ensure that our contestants had enough time to prepare for the competition. Last year, they did not have enough time. This year, we're ensuring that these young ladies have enough time to prepare and put their best foot forward. So that competition, its registration closed off some time ago. And then, of course, all of our vendors, we know we have a number of vendors who look forward to the carnival period. Last year, Sustainable Development and the Ministry of Planning was so kind to accommodate us downtown in terms of vendors and locations. We know there were some issues, however, we have time again to plan around those issues and ensure that everyone is comfortable downtown during the National Carnival period. We also have registration open for street marshals. Street marshals play a critical role in the street activities, both Juve and the Grand Parade and Last Lap. We have registration open for the street marshals as well. So this registration is both forms available online at skncarnival.com as well as at the National Carnival Secretariat on Keon Street in the E.C. Daniel building. So we're giving everyone that opportunity. Carnival is the single largest national event that brings so many stakeholders from a cross-section of society and the community together. It is a unifying event. It is an event for individuals to let go, to be free, and we want to ensure that we reach out to as many stakeholders as possible, whether it be a vendor, a street marshal, an individual who wants to participate in Soca Monarch or the junior, senior Calypso competitions, the Talented Teen. The Talented Teen was the biggest event that we had on our calendar last year.
It was
massive. We had to change venues 3 times because of the Talented Team to accommodate the individuals who wanted to attend. And so the Talented Teen, again, we're just awaiting the schools reopening the first week in September. to ensure that we have all the contestants ready for the talented teen competitions. So the competitions are going to be, the National Carnival events this year are going to be well produced. Individuals are going to enjoy them, and we will give individuals that opportunity to log on online and view the competitions from wherever in the world they are, pay-per-view, right? And also, we are encouraging individuals who live here, residents and nationals, to come out and support.
Exactly.
We cannot do this without you. You have so many people who criticize, stay in the comfort of their home, log online, log into a free event and criticize, but it's so much effort that goes on behind the scenes to bring forth this massive production. So we want you to come out and support.
I just want you to give us a bit of a backstory or behind the scenes of what happens in preparation for such a major event. Sugar Mass 50.
A lot of sleepless nights.
Frustration, anger.
A lot of frustration.
Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship.
I know. And you get home at night after an event, and you pick up your phone and you go on Facebook and you start reading the comments. And you're like, okay, what is really going on here? But no, that is part of the reason, why we do it, and why, people give of themselves or whatever it is in terms of time, money, energy. I mean, just a lot of different things. But it would be nice if people can actually go behind the scenes and see exactly what's going on. Shannon just mentioned that we have 6 contestants for the Miss St. Kitts Nevis pageant already, and though some people may know, I don't think majority of people know that these girls have been working for the last couple of weeks on a weekly basis doing developmental sessions and stuff like that. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Most of all, though, I think at the end of the day, when you know that people have had a good time and they say it, that's the satisfaction.
That definitely is the motivation. Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship. Every year, for the past 3 years, I've said not again. Every single year.
So what keeps you coming back? When individuals appreciate your efforts and say thank you, and you recognize that every year it gets better, and you realize what you could tweak from last year and what you could add to this year, and and then of course we have our minister, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, who is so invested and so committed to ensuring that the success of National Carnival. There's not a day or last year when he wouldn't call or he wouldn't be involved. He is involved in the planning, the production, and so that also helps a lot with the appreciation for the volunteer work that we as a committee carry out. I think that's important.
And a major part of the backstory that don't get told as well is how many locals benefit from Carnival.
Yes, and that was going to be my next question.
So there's definitely an impact. And hey, I mean, a couple of years ago, we had to use the regular stage at Carnival Village. Now we have 4 stages maybe, or more in St. Kitts. So, and these are local, even if they're in business with somebody else in a different island. So and this is not just stuff that stays here in St. Kitts. This is stuff that actually moves around. So we got a lot of young business people who benefit out of Carnival. Hey, we wish that it could be more, and one of the things that we're making a concerted effort on this is to kind of, spread it out a little bit more, because we think that we can do that without, affecting anybody's profit margin. And so that's one of the things that we're looking for. For me, it's always a big story. I like to go behind the scenes and tell these stories of the successful people who participate in not only just the Carnival. I mean, we've seen the same thing happen at the music festival, restaurant week, all these activities. CPL is coming up as well, and so the impact is tremendous. I'm sure Shannon can.
I was about to ask
and it's the cross section. So from the makeup artists to the clothing designers to the hairdressers to the clothing stores to the vendors on the street, cleaners.
And I love that you call all of those stakeholders.
Yeah, these
so
are
persons know that they are all.
These are all stakeholders. These stakeholders are critical to the success of National Carnival.
Yes.
Look forward to the National Carnival period because there's so many events,
Right.
and then you have all of the lighting companies, the stage designers,
Sound.
the sound engineers, sound systems. You have all of the
persons who design the
visuals, designs. I mean,
Yes.
there's hundreds, over 1,000 direct stakeholders in terms of individuals that we employ during the National Carnival period to ensure that our carnival is a success. And they look forward to, as much as we do, the National Carnival period. All hands on deck, all in with your crew. These stakeholders come on board, sometimes with long delays in payments after, sometimes. But they come on board for the love of the carnival. They know that without them, it would not be possible. So we want to thank all of the carnival stakeholders, whether it's the cleaners that clean up after the parade route, to the carnival committee. Everybody is a part of this national. It doesn't affect a small segment of society.
So you can definitely say there has been a major economic impact.
And what we did say was this year we will have an economic impact assessment, official, properly done economic impact assessment, so that the general public can understand. Because some people may think that Carnival is just about fun and fete and frolic and string and bikinis, and it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. It affects a cross-section, and this year we will produce, you can hold Monarch to it, but with this year we will produce definitely an economic impact assessment for the ministry, so that we have a story. We can show how critical this national event is to the overall economy of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Exactly. I mean, and you're talking about, I know last year there was a major complaint about the cost of flying into St. Kitts and ALIF itself as well. This year we've eased some of that congestion with Caribbean Airlines into Caribbean, JetBlue coming on stream, American, of course, I mean, doing what they have to do, when the load gets heavier. And that too, because these people come in, they're not all people who are coming in and staying with their family.
Right.
And even if they do, I mean, they're going out to the events, they're going out to eat, they're buying souvenirs to take back for their friends or whatever it is. So not only just the hotels, Airbnbs are getting a big hit as well. Because people, want to come in whenever they feel like and do whatever they feel, So the economic impact is definitely a serious thing. And I mean, like last year, $500,000 worth of prize money was distributed to the winners of Carnival. In addition to that, we have the franchise for Miss JC's Leeward Islands Calypso competition. So we also support our contestants as well, to ensure that they're comfortable when they get to these regional competitions. So there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, National Carnival, what people don't realize is that we have a fixed budget, and that budget has to stretch. When I tell you stretch, stretch. Because the National Carnival Committee, even though, for instance, the Creative Economy, Department of Creative Economy hosts, for instance, Folklore Galore, they host Midnight Escape, they host In the Spirit of Christmas, I forgot to mention that, which is so popular as a pre-event. All of that comes out of the National Carnival Committee's budget. So we have to ensure that everybody gets a little piece of our budget. and at the same time not compromise the production of our events and not compromise the overall quality of the shows. So this year we want to ensure that we treat every single event that we produce as a business. We have to ensure and justify why to our minister, why there are certain events that have to be hosted. And that is what we did this year. Every single event that is on the National Carnival calendar, even though some may not be profitable for obvious reasons, we need to treat it as a business. And we need to ensure that, we get our quotes. We need to ensure that, individuals submit their proposals to the National Carnival Committee. Right. We need to be as transparent as possible, and we need to make sure that as much is spread, because there's so many stakeholders and small businesses who can and who continue to be tremendously affected by National Carnival, and we want to ensure that everyone gets a piece of the pie who has submitted their proposals to National Carnival Committee and has what we need to produce a quality event.
So, it's time to release the calendar.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just speak about the events on this year's National Carnival calendar, both the private events as well as the National Carnival events, and then right after we will release the actual calendar on our National Carnival social media pages as well as ZIZ and all of the other stakeholders.
All right. So who will take the lead on this?
I would like to take the lead, please, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Okay. So of course there are a number of pre-events, and I don't know if we won't go into the pre-events because there are 19 days of official Carnival events. One event that we didn't speak of though, which is a pre-event, is the Sugar Mass Awards. Last year we had the inaugural Sugar Mass Awards. Over 50 individuals were recognized for their contribution to Sugar Mass over the last 50 plus years. And this year we are also, not everybody, we said it, not everybody could be recognized last year.
Right.
And so every year we will recognize individuals who have contributed and continue to contribute to National Carnival. So this year our Sugar Mass Awards will be a pre-event among other events. However, if we have to jump right into the actual Carnival activities, we start with the opening of Carnival, which is on the 15th of December. And that is the official start of non-stop activity.
19 days of
19 days of non-stop activity. And then we go into, on the 16th, we have Study It. Study It Entertainment is actually hosting 2 weeks, 18 days of non-stop activity downtown Bastia. People asked for it last year. We brought it on board late in the calendar, and we felt that more could have been done to attract individuals downtown Bastia to ensure that our vendors were well supported.
Right.
And therefore the National Carnival Committee is partnering with Study It Entertainment. We know that they have successfully hosted a number of events over the past few years, and we know that they will put their all into the downtown Bastia event. So it runs really from the 16th of December to the 2nd of January, and it's called Study It on the Block, and that's 17 days.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to be downtown, of course. Then another pre-event on the 16th of Visionary Holiday Extravaganza.
Yes, that's in Nevis.
Okay.
And that is Christian Nathaniel. He is hosting that event in Nevis on the 16th, again catering to various individuals and stakeholders.
Sunday 17 December, it's Sugar Mass, Rock the Runway, and I know. I think we can invite Scotty.
Yeah, she could strut.
Yes,
yeah, she could strut. But we definitely, that's a new
the
event.
new star here at ZIZ.
That's
So
a new event.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can second you. We can ask for a secondment. No, but yeah, we have the Rock the Runway event on the 17th, in addition to Festival of Lights. It's a private event. It returns wholesome family entertainment. They've been on the Carnival calendar for the past few years, and we're happy to have them back on for this year. On the 18th is the ASAP Glow Parade. It's a Monday. We know the Glow Parade. ASAP has partnered with National Carnival over the past several years. That parade is every year becomes bigger and better. So we know Brandon and his team put in a lot of effort to ensure that the Glow Parade is successful.
Tuesday the 19th of December, Miss Teen St. Kitts Nevis pageant, and we knew what happened last year. We know what happened last year, so we're expecting an even greater show this year, and of course the Nevis high schools will be included as well this year, so that's an activity to look forward to on the 19th of December.
Nice.
On the 20th is the Folklore Galore. That is hosted by the Department of Creative Economy. That's downtown Bastia. It also involves the Bull and Masquerade competition. It brings out a lot of folklore groups every year, and we really are looking forward to that, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture Night Market. Again, that has been growing significantly over the past few years. Then we have the Soca Monarch finals on the 21st, and Soca Monarch is something that both Monarch and myself are very passionate about, because a couple of years ago, when we were both involved in Carnival in the 2020,
when we were younger,
passionate Soca Monarch, Dwayne Sturge, rest in peace, was the chair of the Soca Monarch competition at that time, and he put his all into it, and we continue to make tweaks to the Soca Monarch competition to make sure that we have maximum participation, and that is what we want this year. We're not going to let too much out of the bag, but it would really be like a Soca Monarch final/Cooler Fete vibe, where we're going to encourage crews to come out, support their Soca Monarch artists, celebrate, have fun, and really bring some life back to the competition that we have found has been missing over the past several years. We have viewed the Soca Monarch competitions in Grenada, in Antigua. We see the energy. We see the thousands of individuals who go out and support this competition, and without your support, you know, the artists feed off of the energy of the crowd. So we're encouraging you to come out to the Soca Monarch finals/Cooler Fete edition on the 21st
I think making it a fete would definitely draw more persons.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, Friday 22nd December, Carnival Love Fest, Pure Bliss.
And that is
Sounds exciting.
Kane Juice, Fonz and his team. Last year we know they had that inaugural, they had a 2-day event. It was the Pure Bliss on the Thursday, I think, and then Soca Monarch, Soca Vengeance was on the Friday. Now they've moved their event, Pure Bliss, to the Friday. And then, of course, on the Saturday is the
Cooler Fete.
Soca Vengeance.
Yep.
On the Saturday, is also the Midnight Escape Street Festival by the Department of Creative Economy. So we are encouraging everyone to wait until that date to go out and buy your local gifts and things. It's also going to be lots of food, culture, entertainment vibes for the entire family. It's a family event from starting in the day until midnight. It's a street festival, so you can classify it as both a food festival, a creative festival, entertainment, etc. And that was amazing last year. We're looking forward to that this year.
Definitely. Sunday 24th December, Christmas Eve, it's Carambola Boozy Brunch.
Boozy brunch.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Carambola has made a name for themselves with their boozy brunch, and we're happy to have them on the Carnival calendar, especially on Christmas Eve. It's a Sunday. Some of us may be home cooking and cleaning. Some of us want to go out and have some fun with the team at Carambola as a private event promoter on the beach.
Nice.
And then it's Juve on the 26th.
So straight off of Boozy into the Juve.
Well, we skipped Christmas Day. Okay, Badak, you skipped Christmas Day. So after Christmas Day, when we go out with our family, and enjoy the Christmas activities at our homes, then it's Juve.
Yep, and one of the things we can look forward to as well is, the Sandy Point Benevolent Society. They're coming home with their activity this year. They normally have a great a ball on the Labor Day weekend in New York.
Okay.
But they're coming home this year, so we're going to circle that date for them. But, we'll get more information later. And, of course, on the 27th, it's the big, bad Panorama. And this year, I think we had, 7 bands last year?
Yeah.
Cartel is challenging us that he will have more bands.
I don't know where he'll find them, but Cartel is up for the challenge, and we're looking forward to the Panorama. Juve and street activities this year are under the leadership of a new executive committee member who was on the subcommittee last year, Leonard Lestrade, and again, a passionate young man who is absolutely putting his 150% into ensuring that the street activities is not an easy task, but that the street activities come off and are successful with as little drama and confusion as possible. But I just want to thank him publicly for coming on board.
And going back to Soca Monarch, we do have another young guy who's coming on board as an executive member. He was a member of the Panorama subcommittee last year, Asquith Watson, who is taking the lead on Soca Monarch this year. So.
And Asquith, again, the same energy as Cartel.
I know.
They're from the same constituency community area, and the same energy. And again, Asquith is passionate about all things soca, so we're expecting big things from him and his team this year for the Soca Monarch competition. Of course, with the oldie goldies like Monarch and myself contributing to that energy.
Yep, Bacchanal Sundown is on that same night as Panorama as well, so that's one of our private events.
Thursday the 28th, which is the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant. So it's a day after Panorama, 2 days after Juve. Then we have the Friday is the Senior Calypso Monarch Finals. You realize that this is every single day.
Yes.
Okay, this is every single day.
And I'm hoping that the viewers and listeners have noticed as well.
Good. So this is Friday now, the 29th, when we know this is like the power weekend. This is no sleep, team, no sleep, take your vitamins, and we're going from that.
It's crew no sleep.
Yeah, all in. We are going from that Friday to last lap. Okay, so we have the Senior Monarch Finals. We have DJ Tero's Sunset Wild Safari. I forgot to mention on the 15th, which is the same night as the opening, DJ Tero also has his event Silent Night.
Okay.
So DJ Tero has 2 events. We know DJ Tero has recently been named a cultural ambassador in the Department of Creative Economy Ministry of Entertainment. So DJ Tero's Sunset Wild Safari is on that Friday the 29th, as well as Activate Boat Ride. Saturday the 30th is our National Junior Carnival Parade, which is spearheaded by the Ministry of our Department of Youth. And we also have the return of the Top Off Brunch. It's also always a popular event for young people. We have the Haynes Smith Caribbean Talented Teen competition that night as well. And then Inception makes its return on the Carnival calendar. Yeah, Midnight Brunch is called. It's starting at 11:59 p.m. on the Saturday, the 30th. So that Saturday we have a ram-jam-packed calendar for every single individual cross-section. You have something for the young people, we have something for the in-between, and we have something for the team no sleep. Yes, the team no sleep. And we know Inception is going to be an all-night event from night till morning. So we're looking forward to and welcome the return of the Inception team's Midnight Brunch is called. Futuristic Escape. That is what it's interesting. Sounds good. Sounds good.
New Year's Eve or All Year's Night, whichever one you prefer. Study it. Opulence, the Rotary Club of Lyomega New Year's Eve Gala, and that is always a spectacular event as well. My colleague and buddy Ronnie Rascal is the one who normally, takes care of the music for that, and Yeah, so another power day again, but you can sleep all day Sunday, go to church, come back, go to sleep, and you know, you can.
On Monday the 1st and Tuesday the 2nd, which is our grand parade and last lap, we also have a new event. Well, it's a concierge concept being hosted by a group of individuals. It's called the Fet Ready Carnival Experience, and this is a concierge service that will bring makeup artists, designers, etc. together to get you ready for the road from like 2 a.m. And get you ready for the road. So it's a concierge experience that a group of young ladies are offering to our revelers. And then of course it's the Grand Parade and last lap.
Yeah.
So we have 19 days of non-stop activity for Sugar Mass 52.
Exactly.
And we have a sweet partnership and collaboration between the National Carnival Committee and the private event promoters and stakeholders. So last year, a lot of events that were on the calendar did not come off. And it is our aim to ensure that these events come off this year. I mean, even though they're private events. This is the first version of the calendar, and we will be updating the calendar on a weekly basis as more events are added.
Nice.
But at least we have the first version so that individuals can now start planning and preparing for the National Carnival period. It's now time to go in the gym, start to, you know, see the gym start to fill up.
I have no idea why she's looking at me, but
so the gym is starting to fill up. We want the gyms to start to fill up. We want you to start to take your vitamins, eat right, healthily, prepare yourself for the full 19 days. That is just the National Carnival events. We have not spoken really about the pre-events. However, tonight we will release the Carnival calendar on our social media pages for individuals to start marking the dates, circling them, as putting their little asterisks by the events that they want to attend.
yeah, definitely, you know, it's the ultimate party.
It sounds
Sugar Mass 52 will be the ultimate party, the ultimate fete. And, you know, once ago we used to say, well, you know, we want to be the best small island carnival. That doesn't exist anymore. No. We are the best carnival.
Yes,
and
there's
that
no
is,
small island.
There's no small island anymore
Yes.
because, I mean, you know, hey, and that's the reason why we've been looking. All weekend, you know, we've been camping out on all these sites, you know, and have some of our people overseas as well, you know, taking a look at what's going on. And so, yeah, we're ready. And I don't know, maybe this is history. ZIZ's news department will tell us whether it's history or not. I don't know if a carnival calendar been unveiled this early in the year. So. This is very, very interesting, and we're, you know, talking to the folks in the diaspora as well. This is time to start looking for your flights. JetBlue's schedule is online. American schedule is online. United, Delta, British Airways, not only in the U.S. but for the folks in the U.K. As well. And we're looking forward, of course, to the participation for, you know, our brothers and sisters across in Nevis. We're definitely looking forward to that. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary of Culturama next year.
Yes.
And we'll definitely make an input and an impact there as well. So we're welcoming our brothers and sisters, not only here at home, but overseas as well.
So on September 6th, you will see us again. We will have our official media launch at a venue to be announced, and you will hear from all of our executive committee members. At that time, we'll be able to fully update you as to what's going on with each of our National Carnival events, and we will be releasing and revealing the National Carnival Queen, the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen pageant contestants on that date as well, which is the 6th of September, just before the Independence 40 activities commence. So we really are looking forward to marketing, promoting, ensuring that every single carnival lover, whether in the Federation, regionally or internationally, knows that Sugar Mass 52 will be taking place from the 15th of December to the 2nd of January, and it will be a carnival not to be missed. It will be a carnival of carnivals. And once we both, as well as our executive team, put our stamp on this Sugar Mass 52, there's absolutely no turning back.
And I agree. All right, so you've heard it here. We've taken you through the calendar of events for Sugar Mass 52. You've gotten some insights on what is going to be happening. So we hope we whet your taste, but just enough for you to book those flights, book those tickets, and prepare yourself for Sugar Mass 52, which promises to be bigger and better. I am your host, Scotty Hendrickson. We've been speaking with the chair of the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee and the director, and we've been so happy to keep you informed as to what is going to be happening for Sugar Mass 52. Any other points you'd like to take us out with?
I just want to say thank you for having us here at ZIZ. Of course, ZIZ has been a partner in Carnival for its entirety.
Yes.
And that, of course, hence the Sugar Mass Award last year.
Yes.
So I want to say thanks for having us, and thanks to everybody behind the scene who made this possible.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. As ZIZ has always answered our call when we want to ensure that we get all of the information out to the nation. So thank you for having us, and we really look forward to continuing our collaboration and partnership with you over the next few months as we prepare for the biggest, sweetest Sugar Mass 52, National Carnival in the history of National Carnivals. And we want to encourage everyone to continue to support the National Carnival Committee by liking our Facebook page, so that you can keep updated. Facebook and Instagram, social media, you can keep updated as to what's going on on a daily basis. You will also, for those who like to listen to the radio, etc., we will try to come to the general public as much as possible via radio, television, and update everyone as to our plans and progress for this year's National Carnival.
Awesome.
Get your crew together.
So it's
all in
with your crew.
All
Sugar
in.
Mass
52.
52.
Awesome. You've heard it here. Thank you so much for watching.